Say hi. Hi. Hello friends, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, then welcome to my channel. My name is Maria, I make songs and I make YouTube videos. Thank you for the great feedback from my last video. I'm gonna cut this intro short because clearly we have established that I'm horrible with intros. Yeah! My last video, if you haven't seen it, then make sure to check it out so you understand the context of this video. I gave you guys a few, there's cat hair everywhere. I gave you guys a few life updates on what's been happening. I'm in my new place. I finally moved, packed up all my things from my last apartment, and I moved to my new apartment. Today, I'm going to be giving you guys a couple of tips that I picked up on with my experience of moving out of my family's house and moving around in Karachi. So without further ado, let's just get into it. I moved out of my family house back in March 2019, over a year ago. It was a great experience, it was a great decision. I stand by it up to this day. हाँ, कभी कभार मैं सोचती हूँ कि यार मैंने ये क्यों किया है, और कभी कभार मैं ज़रूर अपने आप को शीशे में देख के अपने आप से ही पूछती हूँ कि तुम कहीं पागल तो नहीं हो? But you know what? At the end of it, whatever is the outcome, I appreciate it. I have no regrets towards that decision because whatever I'm about to share with you guys is something that I learned with time. Automatically pick up on a lot of things, and you automatically learn a lot about yourself, your life, and how you want to shape things. आज मैं इसी टॉपिक पे बात करना चाहूँगी. I want to share a couple of tips if you're considering to move out of your family home, whether you're a boy or a girl. This is completely 100% applicable to all genders. Even if you've already moved out of your place, out of your family's place, if you're looking to switch up your apartment within whatever city you're pretty much living in. Today I'm going to be specifically talking about Karachi because that's where I live, and Karachi is also mainly the city where a lot of young adults come to work and kind of start their lives, similar to my situation. And yeah, I think you learn a lot from a metropolitan and from a big city. So yeah, so basically I was living in my old place that I had actually just moved into not too long ago, earlier this year, right when the pandemic happened. Thanks COVID for ruining basically everyone's plans. Thank you so much. One thing led to another. बहुत से मसले थे, बहुत चीज़ें होना शुरू हो गई थी जिनके बारे में मुझे नहीं पता था. It revolved around the location, it revolved around the apartment itself. I was living alone. When I did move to Karachi, I had a roommate, and then due to unfortunate circumstances, we had to decide to move out, and then that kind of just led me to live on my own for a couple of months. What came out of it and who I became after that experience is quite interesting. So, if you're looking to move out of your family's house, don't do it. That was a joke. Do it if you really want to. It takes a lot of guts to make that kind of a decision. There will come a point where you will feel homesick. You kind of have no choice but to stick to that decision. You really should think a million times, if you can, before you make such decision, because for some people it might be really easy to decide that they want to move out of their family's house and live on their own and take up all this responsibility, but what they don't realize is that ये literally बहुत एक बड़ी responsibility हो जाती है. In that circumstance as well, आपको थोड़ा बहुत एहसास भी हो जाता है कि how much your parents struggle to provide for you, let alone you providing for yourself. So you learn these things time to time, and you realize how important it is to stay true to that responsibility. Another thing that I do want to talk about, there are going to be some people, whether they're in your family or they're in your friend circle or generally around in your community, wherever you belong, there are going to be people who are not in favor of this decision, especially if you're a girl. I mean, it's such backward-minded kind of a sentence, but it is the fact and it is the truth. People will tell you कि लड़की का घर वही होता है जब आपकी शादी हो जाएगी, and sure, fair enough, but I mean, why can't a girl just make a home before she's married? My immediate family was very supportive. In the beginning, my dad was a little skeptical कि like ये तुम क्यों कर रही हो? But then, what are you doing, darling? My roommate has 2 beautiful cats. So yes, there are going to be people who are going to be completely against this decision, and they're going to think that you have gotten out of hand. You know, the typical mentality that we all struggle with on multiple topics and daily as well. Stick to what you gotta do, क्योंकि आपकी ज़िंदगी है, आपने रहना है, आपने responsibility रखनी है. Literally, it's your life. Whatever you're gonna do, you're gonna do it for yourself. I was questioned a lot of times, like, you know, why you have everything, etc. अच्छा आपका काम तो ऑनलाइन है, आप तो कहीं से भी कर सकते हैं. But what people didn't realize in my field of work, I'm a musician. I come from a very small town. I don't consider Islamabad as a city. A lot of people don't realize that for an artist, it becomes really difficult when you come from a community where there are not that many opportunities, and you've kind of done everything that you possibly could within that community, or aapko bas thoda bahut explore karna hoga. With Karachi, of course, when I made the decision, I was like, okay, this is going to require a lot of money, this is going to require a lot of sacrifice and a lot of patience. Do I really want to do this? I literally evaluated pros and cons. You definitely want to do that. I know it sounds really silly, but when you invest in a notebook, a good notebook, write down everything that you have to do or that you want to do, and stick to your decision once you do it. Because I know a lot of people who moved, especially from Islamabad, I know a lot of people who moved around the same time when I did. They kind of didn't last that very long, and it was a little sad. So, sometimes it makes sense right then in the moment, but wait it out, see if you're even capable of doing it. I mean, when I moved to Karachi, I kind of thought that I had my shit together, but I really didn't. What I'm trying to say is that sometimes you think that you know what you want, but you really don't. And so when I came here, I thought that I really knew what I wanted, but meri thodi si alag kahani thi, kyunki I had to make it work for myself. I'm the type of person who I can't stand down from something that I've decided. I have to make it work for myself. I have to prove a point for myself and no one else. Always remember that everything happens for a reason, and when the time is right, the things that you desire in life will happen. You just need to have a little bit of patience. Take extra time for yourself to kind of see what area you want to live in. So for example, for Karachi, when I moved in here, I was living in a commercial apartment. You don't want to do that if you're a new person. Nobody told me that in the beginning. Nobody kind of guided me. Although the location wasn't that bad, and the apartment building that I was renting out my apartment in wasn't that bad either. I mean, sure, is tarah ka luxurious roshni nahi milti thi, but it was a new building and all the amenities were brand new. However, it was a commercial area, where no matter how amazing the interior is, the exterior also matters, because आपके इर्द गिर्द आपको नहीं पता कि क्या चल रहा होगा रात के पता नहीं कितने बजे. You don't realize these things, and nobody told me that a commercial area is not safe for a single woman, or is not safe for two single women, because I had a female roommate. That was one thing that I learned, that if you are a woman and if you are living in Karachi, or you want to live in Karachi, always go for residential areas. So you have Clifton, for example. There are a couple of places in Defense as well that have proper built residential apartment buildings. थोड़े से महंगे होते हैं, but I'm gonna get to that, and I'm gonna let you guys know how you can make that work for yourself. But yes, always do your research, and once you find a place that checks out safety, you really want to know who your neighbors are. So for example, when we were researching for this current apartment, we kind of started asking around our floor just to see how many families live here, and what are the rules of this building, and what are the pros and cons, and we really tried to evaluate them, and then we made our decision. And by we, I mean me and my roommate. She's awesome, by the way. You want to see whether you're getting water, 24/7 running water. Ye ek hai masla Karachi ka. If you're living in Defense area, as far as I know, this is what I've learned, you will face water problems unless you have line water, which I also believe is a little rare here in this side of the town. However, if you're living in an apartment building, you definitely want to check what the tanky system is, etc, etc. For me, when in my first place, which was in a commercial area, like I mentioned, we were paying for water every 2 days, to a point where I kind of connected the dots, and I was like, either the chokidar downstairs is ripping me off or playing a game with me, or we really have a small tanky upstairs. And it just got a little weird, and I kind of couldn't understand what was happening until I later found out that we were indeed being ripped off, and we were indeed being made fools, because again, in these areas, people think that agar do auratein reh rahi hain akeli, they can easily make a fool out of it. My first roommate and I, we kind of decided that we should leave. We should leave that place, and so we left and we evacuated that place last year in November. These are problems that you actually have to look into, especially in a city like Karachi. Although, knock on wood, I have not experienced anything dangerous us tarah se. So I think you just have to keep your eyes wide open, especially if you're a single woman who's living by herself. You want to save your money, because when I moved to Karachi last year in March, I had little to almost no money. Mera thoda sa alag ka situation tha, but then obviously as months went by and as kharche started developing, I realized that, okay, I think I need to figure out a plan B. I need to figure out another way, another source of income. Yeah, it gets really tough, which is why I would really advise all of you young adults out there who are looking to move out of their house or who's already struggling to live on their own to really save your money. Budgetize, get a bullet journal, get like one of those money budgetizing apps that you can download on your phone. Write it down, write down all your expenses so you know mahine mein main itna kharch kar raha hu ya kar rahi hu, and this is how much I earn and this is how much goes into my utility bills, my rent, everything, all that jazz. Whatever is left behind, try to save as much as you can. Kyunki trust me, when you will finally be able to spend on yourself, it'll be worth it. So you really want to make sure that you have the amount that you are aiming for in order to make this move happen. If you are moving to Karachi from a different city, I would really recommend to go on Zameen.com. This is not sponsored by them, but definitely go on their website, search for locations. You know, there's Clifton, there's Defense, there's so many phases and areas in Defense that you can also look into, and really just sort of see the market prices, the market rates for a standard 2-bedroom apartment or a 3-bedroom apartment or even a 1-bedroom studio. Budget all of that and then decide, see how much you can spend. I know it's very difficult to afford a whole place on your own, which is why I would really recommend to get a roommate. However, even though I did live alone for 4 months and it was very much capable for me, only because of the fact that I had saved my money on the side and I was also working a lot prior to COVID. Obviously, as days went by and months went by, I kind of realized that I can't do this on my own, and so I met my current roommate, who's awesome, and she and I kind of decided that we should get a new place together. She was also going through something similar as I was. A month ago, we kind of just decided that, okay, maybe this is for the best. That's one of the only reasons why I was able and why I am able to afford, or why I was able to move and afford this apartment, was because I had someone that I was sharing it with. And it does make things easier, but even that is a whole topic on its own. If you guys want to know how to split costs and split your expenses with your roommate or a person that you want to live with, do let me know in the comment down below. Comment section down below, and I'll make another video about it, because that's a whole topic on its own. Honestly, moving is not that difficult as much as people make it sound like, as much as I might have made it sound like in the beginning of this video. Jab aapko apni azadi milti hai, you kind of get it over your head and you think you're the shit, but you're really not. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but that's the truth. You are not the shit. You have to make yourself work hard every day and night. There will be moments where you're gonna be hand to mouth. You're gonna have little to almost nothing in your bank account by the end of paying everything off. And yes, it'll suck, but you have to also understand why you were doing that. You really learn a lot, and for me, moving out has definitely broadened up my mind, and I've learned so much about independency. I've learned so much about connecting with my family. I've learned so much about people. I've learned so much about myself, and I think that this decision that I have made has probably been one of the best decisions. हाँ ज़रूर कभी-कभार exhausting हो जाता है, लेकिन यार it's okay. It's literally okay. I promise you, when you get the hang of it, when you know and when you've aligned everything accordingly, you're good. I hope that this video was somewhat of a help. I hope that this helps. I hope that you guys take something positive out of this. Let me know if you want to know how to budget your expenses with a future roommate or a future someone that you want to live with. I will be happy to make that video for you guys. I'm excited because I'm finally, now that I'm settled in my new place, I'm finally able to go back to Islamabad. Hopefully I'll be able to vlog that entire experience, because I am road tripping to Islamabad, which is gonna be fun. That's all I have for now, kids. I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Stay safe. I hope you all had a wonderful Eid, and be kind, spread joy, don't be a hater, and yeah, that's all I have to say. Love, love. Bye.